Last lesson, we learned how to use if statements. This time, we're going to take it to the next level. We're going to show you what happens when something does not fulfill the condition. All right, so let's go take a look. We are going to take this line of code and let's run it. Okay, so what do you think this will do? What will this do? If we run this right now, what do you think it will do? Okay, let's run it and see. Was that what you expected? Now let's change this to 7. Now, what do you think it's going to do? See that? So, okay, what's going on here? This if statement, now it's saying, okay, if this is true, run this block of code that's indented. Else, do this. And then print this all the time. So what's happening is that these two lines of code, line 4 and line 6, are now mutually exclusive. What that means is either it's going to run line 4 or line 6, but never both. And for sure one or the other. So the else statement is basically just saying, if this condition is not true, run the other one. And so this one is always going to run opposite. But let's go take other examples as well. So let's imagine we added an else if. All right. So let's say we added else if. What is this indentation? Print. Okay, here we go. Print middle energy. Need mass. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Now let's imagine. Now, what do you think is going to happen when we run this code? Here we go. So this is going to run if it's between 4 and 8. So let's go test that out. What do you think this is going to do? And what do you think this will do? Very good. Now, I want you to give me an example of what number can we put in here so that this block of code will trigger. So give me a number that this block will trigger. Go ahead and just think about it. So this one should trigger. Very good. All right, now we're going to do one more fantastic thing. All right, we have if, else, if, else. So if the first condition is true, run this. Else if we have another condition, run this. Else, we're going to run this line of code. So each one is kind of becoming mutually exclusive. We're having multiple scenarios where they come in, and so then you can kind of determine which slot it's going to go to. So now let's imagine, what if we had this? Oh. Okay. You tell me What do you think is going to happen when I run this code? Ready? Is that what you expected? Now what happens when I run this code? See that? So what's happening here? Because we're not connecting these statements together using if, else if, and else, now it is being run independently. Each if statement works independently and not connected. When we have else if, or we add another else if here, what that's going to do is it's going to link these statements together so they are mutually exclusive. Okay? Last test. What do you think will run here? Think about what I changed. And what happens if I run? Oh, let's do this. What do you think is going to happen if I run this? All right, there you go. See that? So this no longer gets run because it is indented. If we remove the indentation, what happens? Boom, and it runs. So indentation is important. Else if it's important. Else is important. All these things are used to create what you want to get, the effects that you want. So go ahead and finish these problems, and I will see you on the next lesson.